Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk about how to deal with frustration tolerance, little things that bother people. I got Daisy behind me over here. She likes to give kisses. A lot of people are afraid of this. Okay, you just relax there for a second. You just put your head on me. So the reason why I'm making this funny angled video with Daisy behind me right there, and I have the camera horizontal, so I have to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. And it's going to be weird because I'm looking at this dot right there, and I'm so used to just looking directly at that, but that's not the right place to look. There's a lot of ways to build frustration tolerance that aren't directly linked to other things in your life. Now, this is why I did this, to show you how you can continue on with doing something as something like this is happening. And it being annoying, but still get the job done. So before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Please reach out to Phil at OCDrecovery.com. There's a lot of weird things right now that could be causing me frustration. We're trying to do the horizontal videos, which I haven't done, so it's odd looking at this, and I'm so used to being able to look straight. Not really a big deal. She's behind me. She's going to end up licking me and then breathing into my ear, and, I'm in this weird position sitting on the ground right now, so I did this for a reason. When you come in for anything in your life, addiction recovery, big relationship problems, career issues, OCD and anxiety recovery, it's important. I'm going to use her as a headrest. It's important to work on the small things first, okay? And we all come into OCD recovery and we say, look, I have existential OCD, I have POCD. What are the tips and tricks to get underneath my fear? How do I do this? How do I do that? Well, the reality is, here's another frustration, right? I forgot to turn certain the notifications off. So Rob is messaging me. He just sent me 3 messages in a row because Rob is incapable. Moment just sent me a voice message. Rob and I are very bad at not putting paragraphs. Rob and I are both like, hey, enter. What are enter you doing? So learning to deal with those frustrations are completely correlated to building frustration tolerance in your main fears. If you think you're going to come in with sensory motor OCD like I did, or relationship OCD, or existential, or incest, or whatever the fear is, and you think you're going to I just want to handle that. And I know it's annoying, and I say, what's your morning structure look like? How do you handle people at the dinner table when they chew? How do you handle cleaning your dishes? And they'll say, that doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. It does. It matters a lot. It matters a lot more than you think. You have to be able to start with the small stuff. Ask yourself a simple question. How am I going to break down the fear of losing control when it comes to self-harm and stuff like that if I can't brush my teeth, if I can't floss? I know it's repetitive. Last night, me and Erica got into a little bit of a disagreement, one of the larger ones we got into in a while. Things happen like this. You're married to someone for years and years. You're not going to agree on everything. And it was it was probably one of the bigger ones we've had in a couple of years. And I still brushed my teeth. I still had dinner. I still flossed. And my body was screaming at me to just be like, just go to bed. Don't have dinner, just go and lay down. And I was like, no, I could have accepted myself when I did that, but I wanted to show myself that I could do those things. These are the realities of life. Excuse me. And stuff like that as well. Here's another one, right? People are making a video, they're doing stuff like this, and maybe they burp or something halfway through and they say, oh, I'm going to restart it. But that's not the reality of life. People fart, people burp, people have to pee during videos, and stuff like that. It's the way it goes. If I had a podcast channel with 10 million people, there's no chance I would redo anything. When I pressed enter on that episode, whatever it looked like at the end is what it would look like. That's it. It's over. Nothing more and nothing else. So let's go over a big list of where you can build frustration tolerance, which is synonymous with building anger frustration tolerance and learning to wear these things. So number 1 is doing all your chores when you don't want to do them. This is the basic stuff like hygiene, brushing your teeth, making your bed. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Making your bed doesn't matter. It does. It's a single penny by itself. But when you add all these, if you have 200, 500 different coins and you put it in a bucket, those coins add together and they get kind of heavy. So they do matter. And then how are you taking care of your car? Is your car a mess? How is it? And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I hear it from people every day of my life. You're looking at someone who more than likely, if I didn't do this for a living, I would never say I have ADHD because it doesn't matter. But you are looking at someone who probably has very severe ADHD. I was diagnosed when I was like 9 at Robert Wood Johnson, which is a big hospital that specializes in that stuff because I couldn't sit still in class. And I hear people that tell me, I just can't follow through. I can't get myself to do it. I feel stuck. No, this is not how it works in 99% of people. Are there cases where there are severe ADHD cases? But it's not as common as people believe. It just comes down to patterns, habits, and bad behavioral traits. That's all it is. Not a bad person, not a lazy person, but bad behavioral traits and not keeping up with that. I just can't follow through and make my bed. Think about what you're saying to me right now. I can't do something like make my bed. And then you ask me, why can't I make more money at work? Because you're focusing on the wrong things. Jim Rohn said the best. You got to be able to start with the small things. So we have all that. Hygiene, everything, keeping a cleaner room, keeping a cleaner... the amount of people that yell back at me with this doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Okay, find me someone who's recovered from OCD robustly, unconditional self-life, other acceptance, when it comes to a severe harm or POCD fear that has very, very poor outside behavioral traits. Haven't found them yet. Haven't found them. Not many people on this planet that work with more OCD sufferers than us. Haven't found them. You got to be able to start with the small stuff, which then gives you sense of discipline, sense of accomplishment, not looking for those things and needing them, but being like, hey, I'm going to build my frustration tolerance. I'm going to wear the automatic rumination because not all rumination is a compulsion. I'm going to bring it for the ride. I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to stop living off my parents if I can, etc. Over and over and over again. We work with people who are disabled and live off government money. We understand all that in certain scenarios. But for most of the time, people have very poor life structure and very poor... Oh, it's easy for you to say. No, it's not. My brain used to be scattered as all fuck. Okay? I'm a very hyper individual. It's very easy for me to get distracted, but I would not play the victim card. I say, look, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me than other people, worst case scenario. Maybe I never reach where I want to reach, but I'm still going to put the work in. I'm still going to try. Other things, kitchen, keeping a cleaner kitchen, making your own food. Yes, there's people out there that have the money and they eat for efficiency in the sense of not wasting time with cooking. I get that. That's not the case for most people. That's very important. Right now, sitting in this position, the way it's pulling down, I'm having a muscle tension right here beneath my skull. So sitting with that, not trying to get rid of that. Sitting with itches, not scratching them. Remember, I have psoriasis right here. So this whole thing is a plaque. So it's very easy for me to just scratch that because it feels so good. And then it's bleeding and there's blood all in my fingers, okay? Remember, it destroys my fingers too. I'm not flicking you off. You can't really see it, but you can kind of see it eats away at my nails and stuff like that. That's just what psoriasis does. This one's okay. It's called pitting nails. My middle finger one is the worst. Ew, there we go. Look at that. Look at that thing. And it's been way worse than that. It will wax and wane and you know, now it's like eating away at my nail, but it is what it is. So dealing with that frustration, stop telling people to close their mouths. This is a low frustration tolerance behavior. This is control. Can you please stop chewing so loudly? No. That I can be around 100 people at a dinner with no music and they all do this. She's like, what the fuck? And it doesn't bother me. Like, sure, it's frustrating, but it's not in the bothering sense of like, I need to recorrect these people. I did not want to try and control what most people are trying to control in their life. And in order to do that, it was synonymous with keeping my mouth shut, doing the small things, getting this done as I'm reading the books on the reading list, as I'm cutting compulsions, as I'm starting with the small stuff. But when you come directly into OCD recovery, and we all do it, this, that, and we break down fears in the first call, we give big homework assignments, we get right to the core root of the problem. None of this introductory stuff, nonsense. You have to wait and do an introductory call. That's all nonsense. We get straight to the core fear, break it down, show people right away. My emails are very detailed, and I go very, very in-depth into the stuff that people have to do. Just sitting down in a chair while I'm making a YouTube video, and my neck is aching right now, my knee's hurting me a little bit because I have like a chronic patellar tendon strain from when I was deadlifting like 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and I keep aggravating it in the gym. Like wearing those things, sitting with that discomfort. Here's another one, a great way to build low frustration tolerance. Maybe you're with your partner, okay? They don't want to have sex with you that night. Stop demanding it on them over and over and over again. It doesn't mean if you're not having sex for months and months or weeks and weeks that that's healthy, in my opinion, which it's not, and bringing that up. But If you had sex 3 nights in a row, then you go 2 days without having sex and you're bringing it up and you have a hard time sitting with that frustration tolerance of feeling the horniness sensations, there's more than likely a problem at hand. Low frustration tolerance. Brushing your teeth at night after a long day, low frustration tolerance. By the way, everything I'm talking about is personal experience. So start with the small stuff. Make a list of things you can work on, wearing sensations, not getting rid of them, doing your chores, doing things better at work, being more disciplined. And as you're doing that, that's when you can break down the fears. So thank you. Give kisses. Goose. She has stinky breath right now. This is what she does, by the way. This is why I don't sleep. I'll wake up. I'm not kidding you. It'll be like 2 a.m. She did this the other day. I was sleeping. It was like 3:30. And she just starts licking my fucking eye. And I'm like, dude, what time is it? Grab my phone. It's like 3:31. Does it again at like 4:02. Does it again at 5, right when I wake up. So this is why I don't sleep. If I lose my mind, if I go in the fear of losing control and develop a worse mental illness because I'm not sleeping, this is the one to blame right here. Right? That's good. Phil with OCD Recovery, thank you as always. Please reach out and hope to hear or speak to you soon. Have a good one, everyone. I'm like looking here, looking there, going back and forth. Frustration tolerance.